Okay, I think we should be good to go. All right. Hey, guys. I am David Carr. I'm the founder of Lightside Collectibles, and I'm excited to bring something brand new to you, a podcast, which I've done podcasts before, but nothing specifically Star Wars, collector, fandom related. And I'm 52. I've been following Star Wars. I grew up Star Wars fan, and I said, I have an amazing co-host with me, Roger, who's going to tell you a little about himself. But what we wanted to do was create a space, a fun little space, another podcast out there, but one that is a little different. Taking our take on fandom, collecting, Star Wars, movies, all of that. And having a fun little engagement. So this is our first little mini episode, just introducing you to the concept, one that we're going to expand upon. And I'm going to let Roger share a little bit about himself and his background, and what we're excited to share and bring with you here on this podcast. So Roger, it's yours.
Yeah, no, thanks, David. I am really excited to just honestly, you do one-to-ones, you're in business, you're doing a whole bunch of stuff, and then it's like you find somebody that like, oh, hey, you like this too, and I'm sure there's more, but
Yes,
being able to chat with you about it, I think that's really kind of where this podcast and this idea has come from, right? Because every time we chat,
yep,
we talk about our Star Wars fandom, and and it's like we're like, cool, we've been talking for an hour, maybe we should talk business, and so. I think that's really kind of where this has come from, and just the excitement that we get from it, because I don't think there's anything really like it, like where we're just talking about that. I mean, they're talking about movies and different things like that, but just kind of our love for it, just kind of what we see. Obviously, you have the Lightside Collectibles, which is super cool. So I'm excited just to see all the different things personally that you're going to pull out and be like, check this thing out. Cause I mean, on your Instagram, your Facebook, you show your Lightside Collectibles. So I think that'll be a lot of fun to see and just kind of geek out on and just kind of go from there and just see where it takes us.
Yeah, absolutely. And both of us are dads. I have a 20-year-old daughter who just got married, and my son is 17, and they have grown up Star Wars as well. Right?
That's
Roger,
cool.
talk about your family real briefly.
Yeah, I have a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old, so I'm on the opposite end of where David's at. I'm just semi-starting, but my 10-year-old is definitely into Star Wars. He got a lightsaber, and it's behind me here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's behind me.
Yeah.
On my nightstand and stuff, and so he thinks Star Wars is really cool. The 5-year-old is a little bit like, I'm not really into it yet, which is fine. But yeah, the 10-year-old definitely loves it. He is excited. In fact, I caught him watching it the other day. I was like, man, what's that noise? And then I walked out of my office, and here he is. He's watching A New Hope. And I was like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I just wanted to watch Star Wars. So he like went through all 6 of them within like 10 days or something like that over the summer. So yeah, he just wanted to watch them. And then he started going through the Clone Wars. And so it was cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna so I think that's a unique too, Roger, is that we're bringing our own fandom from our different generations. We're going to bring it from our kids' generations, if you will, and we've got kids at different ages, and we're going to talk about experiences that we've had, experiences that we're looking forward to. I just signed up. I'm now a member of the Lucasfilm Museum. I'm super excited to be going to that. Right? So we're going to talk about that. That opens up literally next month. We're recording this end of August 2026. We've got Star Wars Celebration coming in 2027, the Starfighter movie. There's a lot of media out there. I just went to D23 a couple weeks ago. So we'll talk about conventions. We'll talk about actors, people behind the scenes have done cool work on the movies. And so I'm excited to be able to bring this to you guys in a fun and engaging way. And hopefully you guys are going to lean in and just have another community. And I got to say, if you guys haven't checked out Lightside Collectibles, Roger was instrumental in helping me launch that website. He does web design and amazing other things. So, we're just bringing our passion of what we do in a different way. And hopefully you guys are going to enjoy us and follow us along. And we welcome your feedback of what you want to hear more of or ideas. But like I said, we're talking about collectibles, conventions, movies, TV. And we're talking Star Wars has been around coming up on 50 years. So there is a lot of ground to cover there. And I am not an expert in all of it. We'll talk about the things that I know really well. Kenner, Star Wars, toy collecting, right? Lightsabers, but I think Roger, there's so much fandom and so much different areas. I hope this is
Yeah.
just going to be fun for people to listen into and
Yeah.
engage with us and give some thoughts and feedback on, and feel like, oh man, these are my people.
Yeah. Yeah. And even, and, you know, having said that, I mean, it's been 50 years. There's been a lot of cool things and a lot of like, well, people don't really like to think about them. Right. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's also something that we'll probably talk about, because I think a lot of people have different, like, they'll be like, oh, you know what? I agree with Roger and I don't agree
Hmm.
with David, or vice versa. I agree with David and not really with Roger, you know, or I don't like either one of their opinions. But I think that'll be really cool to be able to explore that, because you'll find a lot of different opinions, right? You have 5 Star Wars fans, you're gonna have 25 different opinions.
Yes,
And so that'll be a lot of
I
cool.
like that you brought that up, Roger, because I find there's two camps. There's some kind of camps that everybody has to love everything about Star Wars, and I
Yeah.
think that's, I kind of maybe fell in that place a little bit myself, but I think that there's a place where we can have a thoughtful conversation and not
Yeah.
a toxic one. Unfortunately, I think too, just like politics or anything else, this should be fun and engaging and positive, and we
Yeah.
will make sure that that is the case. But we also want to
Yeah.
be able to say, hey, this wasn't my favorite episode, or this wasn't my favorite thing, and not, it's not meaning to be, I love, like how you said, like, we want to have thoughtful conversations, how,
Yeah.
and so we're always like, how do we do things better, how can we bring that up and really lift things up in a better way. But
Yeah.
let's be honest and authentic. I think you're going to get an honest and authentic approach, from, like I said, from the movies to collecting. I see, I'm big on the collecting side, so I see some grumblings in the community about certain things, and I'm like, okay, guys, this should be fun and enjoyable. And
Yeah.
how can we shift the focus there to where it's like, oh, this is refreshing, this is fun, I really have a great time here, and you've met some cool people along the way, because
Yes.
really, that's at the end of the day, Roger, I think meeting you and meeting other people that love Star Wars or have a good time, that to me is actually even more valuable than the Star Wars itself, the experience. The Star Wars is
Yeah.
awesome, but to experience it and have it and share it with other people, to me, that is the real gem that I hold on to. And I hope the people that listen in here, they're going to come up to you, Roger, or come up to me and say, oh, heard you on the podcast, or you guys were talking about this. That was so cool. And I really appreciated that. I really related to that. I felt like, and that's hopefully we will become a virtual friend, hopefully in person, a connection with you as well.
Yeah. Yes, that
Uh,
would be
right?
amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that's you hit it right on the head. Like, Star Wars is cool in and of itself, right? Like, I mean, who
Yep.
doesn't want a lightsaber? But
Mhm.
it's sharing that with somebody and then just be like, "Oh, you like that too?" You know? And obviously it's a little bit more, I don't want to say more common, right? But it's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, wow, you like that too?" And while we may have different opinions, like, that's fine, but at the end of the day, it's like, dude, I like Star Wars too. And instead of just like enjoying it by yourself, you're able to now enjoy that with others. And I think that just like you said, I think that that's the cool part about it, is just bring so many people together, and you can just chat about it. And it's like, dude, yes, I want to talk about Star Wars too.
Right? It is a bridge that if you didn't have that, you wouldn't have that connection. And
Yeah.
like Roger and I had a connection. I mean, we were working in another networking group, but then this connection, it just strengthened the connection. And what I found,
Yeah.
and maybe if you'll relate to some of the folks that are listening or checking this out, is they kept it kind of under wraps, because like, oh, I don't necessarily want to say that I'm a big Star Wars fan or a nerd. It's
Yeah.
like, because I don't know how people will receive it. But what I found, to your point, Roger, once I opened that up, people are like, oh, you're into Star Wars, or you like that?
Yeah.
And it just opens up. So I'm hoping that it'll encourage people to open up in a good way, of like, and like I said, I'm friends with amazing Star Wars people, friends. I consider them friends. We have a lot of different opposing views on some things, but we, at the end of the day, we're like, we'd rather have a point of connection than
Yeah.
disconnection. So
Yeah.
hey, let's look for points of connection and light, if you will. And I think that's what hopefully this will part of this will be, is an experience where, we don't have to agree on everything. It's okay, but at this point we have a touch point. Isn't it better to have a touch point than be completely in our world? It's so broken down, it's so separated.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is going to be a fun podcast where you're like, oh yeah, that resonated with me. I can see where Roger's coming from. I want to learn more. I want to lean into that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many points of contention in anything and everything. But I think that where we can do it right.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just in Star Wars, right? But it's in everything. You know, if we can
Yep.
do it here, man, you can do it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it's okay to disagree, but that doesn't mean like, you know, I hate you now, and it's like we can't be friends anymore.
Yep.
There's a Key and Peele skit that talks about that very same thing, and like it's this whole thing with the Dark Knight, and he's like, I didn't really like the Dark Knight, and they like the guy's just kind of like going with whatever the opinion is, and it's like, well, you can have your own opinion. That doesn't mean that we can't like talk, you know, like just because you
Yes.
may like so probably a big point of contention. Some like the prequels, some don't like the prequels, some don't
Right.
like the sequel, right? Like all of that sort of stuff. But it's like just because you like those or you don't like those, right? Whichever one it is. And I do or I don't, you know, that doesn't mean it's like, oh, you're not a true Star Wars fan or you're
Yes,
not
you're not a
this or something.
true fan.
Yeah.
Oh my, you're
Yeah.
not a
No.
true collector because you don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not, this is not that place. So if that's your
Yeah.
person, we're not your
Yeah.
you're not your
Yes.
podcast, your place. But if you're a
This is
person that
not
says,
Reddit. Yeah.
yeah, this is not, yeah, this isn't, this is an inclusive place. This is a place where we want to have fun. We want to have some different opinions, because that to me
Yeah.
is the spice of life. A little is to have that, but have it in a place that is a container that we're gonna have some fun with it. We're gonna have joy going into this. We will probably have, I'm anticipating guests. I have some connections
That would be
in the
sweet.
world of Star Wars and other things on here. So we'll probably have special guests here, and so you guys, we're all full of surprises. We're gonna be full of surprises, right? And which I think is exciting. So hopefully every time you come and check out an episode, it's kind of like unpacking a new gift. It's like, whoa, what's going to be in here this time? You know.
Yeah.
We hope that
Yep.
that anticipation, you're like, oh, I want to check out the next episode. What is David and Roger going to cover this time on this episode? We don't have a set frequency just yet, so we're going to bear with us. We're going to figure this out. But we just thought we had the energy. We wanted to bring in something positive to you guys because we felt this is great, and we're like, how can we bring this to the rest of the world and share it? And so we hope you enjoy this journey with us. Follow along. Like I said, like Roger said, you can definitely follow Lightside Collectibles. We'll put stuff out there for sure. So whether it's Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or whatever, I'm on all those different platforms. So just look up Lightside Collectibles. That'll be for sure a vector that you guys can connect with us and follow along as we build out the podcast. But I'm excited to have it here. I'm excited, Roger, to have you here. And you guys just stay tuned for our next episode, right, Roger? We're ready to record our full episode, but this is our intro for y'all.
Yeah. So hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, like I said, give us some grace because we're still trying to figure it out. And just like David said earlier, and if you're like, hey, this would be kind of cool for you guys to talk about, let us know. Because we're excited to just talk, because we could probably start at like 8 a.m. in the morning and it get to like 4 o'clock and we're like, well, that's like 17 episodes.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for listening to the end as we get started. I gotta say it. I mean, this is part of Star Wars. May the Force be with you.
Yes.
Hopefully you come back, and we will look forward to having you on our very first inaugural episode outside of our intro. So thank you guys for being here with us.